Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahirima Shaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva, Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O great ones, fill us with thy love and joy. Help us to focus on thee ever more deeply in this winter time. We long for thy presence, to feel thee within and all around us. Bless us and be with us now. Om Shanti Shanti. Let's listen to a song of Swamiji's now, and then an excerpt from an audio talk by Swami Kriyananda. Welcome again, friends.
Lord Most High, our Heavenly Father, all our lives we dedicate to Thee. All our labors, all our joys and woes, all our pleasure, all our melody. Make us each a channel of thy peace. When in darkness, guide us from above. Where there's sorrow, may we sow thy joy. Where there's hatred, may we share thy love.
Lord Most High, our Heavenly Father, all our lives we dedicate to Thee. All our labors, all our joys and woes, all our pleasure, all our melody. Make us each a channel of thy peace. When in darkness, guide us from above. Where there's sorrow, may we sow thy joy. Where there's hatred, may we share thy love.
So one of the ways to develop, to deepen your spiritual life, and a very important way, is to learn to listen, to learn to extend, to prolong the enjoyment of the peaceful after effects of meditation, after effects of the techniques, to sit as long as you can in meditation without techniques, just trying to sink into that peace, and then to carry that through so that when you listen, you're listening on that level, and not because I can easily imagine somebody listening in this way, oh yeah, hey, tell me more, and like that. That's on an ego level. I mean, listen with the soul. Listen the way you'd listen in meditation. Listen to that higher self that's talking in silence. Another way to deepen your inner life is always to try to live at your center. Don't let things take you out of that center. If anything threatens to do it, then know that you wouldn't handle it right anyway, and so back off a little bit. Always try to act from here, not from out here. You'll find that everything that you do will proceed better. I would say this, that if ever you meet somebody who's very magnetic in any way, it's because he has to some extent found his center. That anybody who is strong enough to be able to convince other people, and I'm talking in a general way now, because there are some people who are strong enough to convince or sway other people or make things happen who are themselves not good people, even evil people. And yet you will see that, for instance, a Hitler or a Mussolini or somebody, you will find that at least they always have this quality in common, that they're centered in themselves. People listen to those who are centered in themselves. And events are shaped by people who are centered in themselves. What you want to do is center yourself in your higher self so that you will be guided by goodness and truth. But centeredness, added to these other qualities, is a very important aspect of deepening your spiritual life. Everything that you do should begin at this center. You will find that the more you do that, the more you will really have control over your life. And the interesting thing is that then things will be drawn to you that will be beneficial to you. The more you allow yourself to be spun out of your own center by life circumstances, the less control you will have, not only over what you do, but oddly enough, because your magnetism then will become centered in things or people or whatever, the more you will find that you don't even attract to yourself the things that are best for you anymore. Learn to become centered in the spine. When you meditate, try to feel that center there. And chanting Om at the chakras is a good thing. The different techniques of yoga and Zen and so on that get you centered are all good. But then offer that energy upward from all of these chakras. It would help you. Another thing that would help you would be to think of the heart as being, this is the way it's described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, as a lotus with the petals turned downward. Turn the petals upward toward the brain. When you feel devotion in the heart, offer that devotion, that feeling, up to the point between the eyebrows. If, for example, in chanting and meditating, you feel so much love that you can't help crying with love and with joy, it's beautiful, and such tears wash away many sins. And yet you do find a point that if you don't internalize it and become calm and centered and offer it up, you become exhausted by it and you lose the feeling of love. It's got to be turned toward calmness. It's all right at first, but then take it within. Otherwise you'll lose it. Take it within, become calm, not by suppression and control so much as by offering that energy calmly up to the point between the eyebrows.
Good morning again, friends. This is such an important topic because this time of year is very special for a variety of reasons that I'll go into in a moment. But you think of what most people do when in winter time, when it's more quiet and darker outside earlier, and all of that is maybe people sleep more, or maybe they watch more movies, television. Maybe they go out more because of boredom or various things. But really, for a devotee and disciple, it's a very special time. It's a time when nature is more withdrawn. Even bears hibernate. It's a time when there's less outward activity going on. There's a stillness that you feel. It's also a holy time. I mean, think of it as time of Master's birthday, time of Christmas, time of New Year's. It's a very special time. And I think that we have to realize that winter time is a time to go within more, to interiorize more, not to go out and do so many things and be active and have so many activities. And it's more of a time to withdraw. And I know for a lot of people that's difficult, that they're really afraid of withdrawing, afraid of silence, afraid of being alone. But when you really think about it, we come into this world alone, we leave alone, and it's God alone with us. But if you think of going into the spiritual eye, for example, going into the light, going into the darkness, and then beginning to see a light and going through that tunnel. It's such a wonderful feeling of going and being alone with God, going inside. When you think of listening to Om and just merging into that wondrous sound and just dissolving yourself, dissolving who you think you are. Who are you anyway? Dissolving the sense of ego, the sense of personality, of ownership, or worries or problems or whatever. As you begin to listen to Om, you begin to dissolve all of those things that you think you are. As Swami Kriyanandaji said, that people are like just a bundle of self-definitions. But at this time of year, it's easier. It's it's just easier to be able to go inside, into the light, into Om, into the spine, as Swamiji is saying, to be centered in yourself, into the feeling of who and what you really are. And that's such a blessing. It's a blessed time. And I would suggest to use this time well. What can we do to go more within? Well, first of all, as Swamiji was saying, focus a little more on your meditation. Now, just take the next step or the next two steps in your meditation. Practice the techniques. There's so many. I mean, my goodness, this Master said if you did 1/100th of what I've given you, you could get there, meaning find God. Meaning he gave so much that we can do. And so before you meditate, prepare yourself. Don't just rush to your meditation room when you, in the morning, energize your body, do some yoga postures. One of the techniques of Nabi Kriya or chanting Om at the chakras or hunks, or not hunks on the spine yet, but things that prepare you, techniques that prepare you to be still. Stillness is important. We live on a Rajasic planet. We live in Rajasic times. We live in Rajasic cities. We're surrounded by it. I mean, it's all around. And you have to be able to have powerful practices and a true guru that can help you disconnect and help you go inside. And we have that, but you have to utilize that. So use the practices to meditate more deeply. Longer, guru-given, deeper guru-given meditation is the aim for this time of year. It's more still. You can be more still in yourself and meditate with the gurus. It's a wonderful practice to just feel one of the masters beside you, or you can feel, sometimes I feel Babaji sitting on one side, masters on the other. And how can I go wrong with that? And Swamiji encouraged us to meditate with the gurus, meditate with God, be affirmative. God and gurus are with me, not when will they come? When will I feel joy? When will I feel Master's presence? Just affirm, they are with me. Visualize them. Look at the altar and see their faces and feel them there. Feel your hand in theirs. Feel their spine in yours. Feel their spiritual eye in yours. Their Om is coming into you. Their chakras are yours. It just, you have to be able to not just visualize, but, well, you visualize so you get the experience, but really, really try to feel the gurus helping you, being with you. Master would put his ear next to Dr. Lewis's ear so Dr. Lewis could hear the Om sound. I mean, just imagine that, or Master's forehead next to yours helping you to see the light, or Babaji or Lahiri Mahashayaji or one of the gurus. So the first thing is meditate, give more emphasis And how about creative joy and love to your meditation? Secondly is prayer. Pray more. People just they hold on to their problems. It's like, I like this problem because I don't know, I need something to do, or I don't know why, but the point is, don't hang on to those problems, offer them. And at this time of more inwardness, offer to God. Just say, I offer this to you, my children, my job, my finances, my health, my neighbors, my relatives, whatever it is, just offer and just say, I know you're with me. I know you will help me. You may have to hold that prayer up for a while, but I've seen it over decades. I've never seen it fail. That when I really offered to God some, let's face it, delusion of my own, I always received an answer, guidance, help, upliftment, something. So offer prayers and devotion at this time and free yourself. Let go. It's a wonderful time to let go. And there's that beautiful chant of Swamiji's, come out of the darkness, mother, bathe me in thy light, bathe me in thy light. And you can have some words like that just going through your mind. That's a beautiful prayer. Or Master said, reveal thyself, reveal thyself. And feel God's presence, taking away all your delusions. And it's such a freeing feeling. And the next would be chanting. Now, some people feel they don't have a good voice, but if you're chanting in your room by yourself, I mean, only God hears you. But Master said chanting's half the battle. Now, you can't just shove it under the carpet and say, well, I don't have a good voice. Just chant along with the chants. You can get the chants on the music app or online. And what chanting does is it calms you down and opens the heart. And when that happens, you feel uplifted. But if you're restless and nervous and stressed out and there's so many tensions and I'm going to sit and meditate, you're not meditating. Let's face it. It's just stress. And what people usually do when they're so stressed out that way, they close their eyes and fall asleep. So take the time before, after, and during the meditation. If you feel you just can't sit there any longer, just put on a chant and chant along. Even if you don't chant out loud, chant mentally. Better still, if you can, is get a harmonium and just take the classes, learn. You can learn online, you can learn at the centers, but I tell you, if I didn't have music, I don't know what I would do. It just, life is too stressful. And what it does is just immediately calms the nerves and helps you feel God's presence. So this winter, try to learn one chant a week. That's a good goal. If you're learning on harmonium, or if you're just singing it, sing one chant a week, or you decide, but I'm just offering suggestions. But if you sing a chant that long, it's in you and it will never leave. And times of trouble, that chant is coming. Times of worry, that chant comes in. I'm amazed that songs of Swamiji's and chants, they just come in my mind at different times, especially now that I'm playing more musical instruments. This songs just keep coming every day. There's more songs. It's wonderful. It's heavenly. If you can live on that realm instead of what in most people's mind, that worry, that problem, that doubt, that fear, that person, why did they say that? If you can get into the music, you can just start getting rid of that. It's really very powerful. Another is the books. Read something every day, from autobiography or the path, or one of the books that we have, Conversations with Yogananda, or Essence of Self-Realization. You decide. But I find I just open a page and there's my guidance right there. And I'm sure you probably find that too. Just read a paragraph or read a page or read a chapter. It's up to you, but don't not study the books. Just take one or two or three books. You decide. But and just this winter, this is my reading material. It could be you read the autobiography from cover to cover or the path. Or you might just open a page every day and read something and ask Master, talk to me. Tell me what you want me to do. Guide my life. Give me instruction. Discipline me. What do you want me to do? And then you'll find that guidance there. Same with the talks. There are hundreds of talks, masters and Swamijis, hundreds of talks. And people are looking for guidance. Well, you need to open the books and listen to the talks. You can get the talks through Treasures Along the Path. There are talks on YouTube. There are videos of Swamiji and various ones, but there's so much available. I try to listen to a talk every day of Swamiji, even if it's not the whole talk, just something, because he's my teacher. I want to hear from him. He's guiding me still. And so the books, the talks, and finally, I would say, spend some time alone. Seclusion is the price of greatness. Being always amongst people, you can't always do that. You need time alone. I think most people feel their time alone is when they're sleeping. Or so one person told me his seclusion was when he gets on the airplane and leaves town. But we're talking about a conscious seclusion time, retreat time. And you don't have to have a week, but most people, at least Ananda, America, and probably Europe as well, take a week, a year, and recharge, renew, get re-inspired, be alone with God and gurus. The time you can do everything you've been wanting to do. You figured you didn't have the time to do more yoga postures, Ananda yoga, more study, more of the talks, listening to them, more of the meditation, longer meditations where you don't have to rush to go to work, rushing home and going into your meditation room and rushing to dinner. And there's no rush when you're in seclusion. Now, if you can only do a day, but do a day, at least try to do something every week, a half a day or whatever. I remember Swamiji was saying something to us like this, and he said, here, I'll bargain with you, just do something. And so you decide. But if you're always outward talking, it gets to be too much. I see people talking all day long. They don't even take a breath hardly. It's too much. Just calm down. And how do you calm down? Take a day or half a day or 2 days or 3. And between Christmas, New Year's, and when the time kids go back to school, there are some days, let's face it. People say, I don't have time. That's the time typically at Ananda, at least when I was in the US, a majority of the people took seclusion during that time of the after Christmas, before New Year's, or between New Year's and Master's birthday. Time alone, more chanting, more everything. And it really recharges you. Swamiji said the seclusion he had, where he the first time he slept a good deal of the time because he was so exhausted. Then he meditated for long hours, and long hours for him were like 8 to 12 hours at a time. And then he said the second time he meditated more. He maybe for the first day rested, or first couple of days, and then he meditated many hours a day, every day for 2 weeks. And he said that seclusion, the energy, the magnetism, the attunement, what he got from that lasted him an entire year. My God, I think we don't realize how much spiritual recharging really renews you and gets you in tune and uplifts you and clarifies you and gets rid of bad karma and stress and everything that holds you back and really pushes you forward in your spiritual progress. You need that push. And so during this time of winter, all the things I said, do them. And I'm sure there's other things you can feel to do, but use the time to give yourself a spiritual push forward. Don't just sleep through it or watch a gazillion movies. Or it's interesting with chanting. After you chant, you can't watch a movie. I've experimented with these things. After chanting, you're inward, so you just meditate. You don't want to go out again. And so these are all methods, tools, ways to get us to be able to go within. And once you go within, to lift the energy up, focus at the spiritual eye, and go into the light. There's darkness first, but then there's that great light of God. God bless you all. Have a wonderful winter. And I'll ask Natendra to join me now.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. We have a few questions related to the topic. The first one is, I feel lazy to get up early in winters, and so my sadhana time reduces. So would you have any tips so that we continue to wake up early?
Here's a tip I have. Joy. When you love something, and love, when you love something and it's joyful, you get up, don't you? Like you're an athlete, so if you have a run or you're cycling or whatever, I don't want to go. I don't feel like going today. No, you set that alarm and you get up, isn't it? Because you want to do it. And so I would say, here's one tip: is ask Master to help you get up. I've never seen that one fail. You just say, Guruji, I want to get up. I want to meditate. Help me to get up. Just at that hour seems, for me at least, something happens to wake me up. An alarm is a good thing. Put it on the far side of your room so that you have to get up. That works. Another one is, don't eat so late at night. If you eat late, then you're watching a movie or you got 3 movies in a row. And I mean, you're like drugged. You can't get up. So eat less at night, turn off the television, go to bed earlier. And you find that you just have more energy in the morning. If your body's been working all night with that heavy thali meal that you had at that restaurant, you won't be able to get up very easily. So that, and the other thing is, if you meditate well at night, the morning, I mean, you meditate well, you sleep less. These are all tricks of the trade, but they do work. So try some of those.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. The next one is, does increasing the duration of our meditation help in increasing the depth as well?
No, I mean, you got to work at the depth. Some people sit there for hours and they're sleeping. It's not the amount of time, it's the depth. If you can have time and depth, wonderful. But first aim for, I know Master said longer, deeper, guru given meditation. I would say put guru given, then deeper, then longer for this, what we're talking about today. So first meditate with the guru, then ask him to help you to go deeper. Aim for depth in the first part. And if you aim for depth in the first part, you're usually okay for the rest. If you say, no, after 45 minutes, I'll aim for depth, it's too late. I mean, you're usually more restless then, you have less energy then, your focus is not as strong. So go, boom, right in at the beginning. Get your focus, you have energy, get onto your kriyas soon, and then you'll find that the rest goes pretty well. I love that part. Swamiji was talking about the after effects of Kriya, sitting there and just bathing in the vibrations that you feel, and the light and the Om, and just peace and joy and love. It's just a wonderful. Master said the techniques, when you do the techniques, that's like cooking the meal. And when you sit afterwards, that's like eating the meal. It's like those gulab jamuns, huh? Delicious. Swamiji said once, Kriya is delicious. But you have to taste it. You can't just get up and run off. So you need the time too. You need all of it. That's why once a week, aim to do a longer meditation, not a rushing meditation. I know in Gurgaon, I hope more centers are doing this. They're doing a lead up to the 8-hour meditation, isn't that right? Where every Saturday leading up, there's longer and longer and longer meditation. So maybe a 2-hour, then a 3-hour, then a 4-hour. Going from 1 hour or whatever to 8, that's quite a stretch. I would recommend that people work up to 8 hours. Don't just say, well, Guruji will be there with me. I mean, you need to be working up to it. It's like going on, I'm running a marathon tomorrow and you haven't done anything. So work at it, but that's a wonderful time. That is Christmas, that 8-hour meditation. Chris, what is Christmas? When Christ consciousness comes. That's what Christmas, the birth of Christ, means the birth within each one of us. So aim to have that birth and not just be there restless and fumbling and looking at your watch and hoping it's over, and work up to it. You have the time now. We have about a month, isn't it? Or something like that. And you can do it. Then you'll have a blissful meditation. For over 50 years, I think 55 years, we've had the Christmas meditation at Ananda, and Master had it way before that. So work up to it and it'll be blissful for you. Is that
yes,
anything else?
Just one final question. So, as you said, like if we have restlessness during our meditation, especially the long meditations, is it okay to use chanting or read a book or listen to a talk, or should we not do that?
For heaven's sakes, you need to do something. What are you going to do? Slump down and sleep? And you need to do something. And so, yes, so if you get to the point you feel sleepy, one thing Master says, open your eyes wide, close, open, wide, and close, open, close. It's a wonderful way to just get energy going back into the eyes and into the brain. And another thing, tensing, relax, tense, relax. Do that 3-4 times. And this is while you're sitting. I'm not saying get up and go for a run and come back. And then, of course, you can put on a chant mentally. And this is if you're by yourself. If chant mentally or chant out loud, or get down there with your harmonium and chant. Do a chant. Then come back. You'll be awake, more awake and ready. And then there's a variety. If you've got a toolbox, don't you? I mean, you've got so many techniques in there. You can do Nabi Kriya. You can do chanting Om at the chakras. You can do tense relax at the chakras. You can get the Om board out again. You can go back into Hongsa on the spine. I mean, really, if you're bored, I don't know why. I mean, there's so much, and you just keep pulling those tools out as long as you need to. And then after you feel, okay, now I'm ready to just go with God, then leave that toolbox alone and just start floating in God consciousness. And that's just wonderful. But last thing I'll say is, you've got to affirm it. Affirm that it is you. Don't feel it's so far away, I'll never see the light, I'll never hear him, I'll never go into a deep state. You will. But most of it is in your mind. Isn't it so? Most of success in anything is in your own mind. If you want to be successful as a yogi, you have to affirm it. It is your reality. We have come from joy. We go back into joy. We are light. As you affirm that, you become more and more out of your body, out of your ego, floating completely in God, in space, in infinity. God bless you all. Thank you, Natendra. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.